Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we're in Istanbul, Turkey.
Istanbul is an absolutely gigantic place of over 16 million people. We're only here for a short amount of time because we're only really using it for a stopover before we're finally going to make it to Asia. We actually lived here for 3 months a few years ago, so there are a few neighborhoods that we want to revisit, and we also missed Turkish food so much. But unfortunately we won't be able to fit all the Turkish food into one video, but we're going to try our best. I'm a little bit scared because Turkey has gotten really expensive. Inflation is crazy and it's not the budget destination it once was, and we are budget travelers, but let's see what we can afford. Let's go explore and let's eat.
Being back here in Turkey, the only way we could start our day here off right would have to be with a Turkish breakfast. We have had breakfast all over the world. We've been to over 50 countries at this point, and I can say without a doubt, a Turkish breakfast is our favorite breakfast in the entire world. And if you see this table, you know exactly why. We have fresh fruit, all of these different spreads. There's eggs, fresh cheese, fresh bread, olives, everything you could possibly want. And of course, some hot Turkish tea or chai. Delicious. I think that the Turkish people actually drink their tea pretty sweet. They usually put like a whole sugar cube in this tiny thing, but I honestly just like it black as it is. But I cannot wait to dig into this feast because it all looks amazing.
So the restaurant we're at is called Pişi Pişi, I think, which is basically the same name as, I think, these donuts. And these look delicious. They're like hot. The spread is basically probably the best one we've ever had. There's so much stuff and it's also unlimited. So I guess if we finish all this, we could get more, which is crazy.
As if.
There's no way we could finish this. I think we even have the same amount as like 4 people do. I think they're just like per table, they just give the same amount, even if you're just 2 people.
It certainly looks that way.
We're hungry, but let's see how much we can eat. I'm gonna start with this gözlem, which is this like flatbread, and the woman over there actually makes it fresh. It's good. I don't know what's inside though, if it's maybe beans or chickpeas or something like that. It's delicious either way. I don't even know where to start.
It's overwhelming, honestly.
I'm gonna put this weird white cream with, I don't know what it is. It has like these like yellow bits in it. Tastes like lemon. Like it's actually lemon on it. Yeah. It's kind of like a cream cheese with like lemon peel. Yum.
This is a very intimidating spread, but the waiters actually explained what every single dip was to us. Of course, I'm not going to remember them all, but I do recognize some things here. And also one of the waitresses came over and she had this tray of jams and dips as well. And they just gave us a bunch of them because you get them all for free. And you can even reload on jam at a jam station, which is pretty cool, but we'll do that later.
And they make them all themselves.
Yeah, I feel like that's what the purpose of this place is. Like, they specialize in all these jams, and I don't think any other restaurants that we've been to were like that before, so pretty cool. I'm gonna go for something that I recognize. We have this tahini dip right here, and I love tahini. If you don't know what it is made from sesame paste. Oh, look at that. And of course, fresh bread. So nutty, creamy. It's almost like a really runny peanut butter, but of course with sesame flavor. I also need to get into some of these cheeses because there are a massive spread. I think there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 9 different types of cheese here. One of our favorite cheeses whenever we come here to Turkey is this cheese here. I don't know what the name is in Turkish. If you are Turkish, let us know in the comments, but it's basically like a Turkish string cheese. And we love to eat this with our Turkish breakfast. So I'm gonna try some of this. Grab myself a black olive. I'm in heaven. As I said, best breakfast in the world. Let's also take a bite of the menemen, which is basically an egg mixture with tomatoes. And I think you can also get this with meat. That's really good. Smooth, creamy, you get that hit of tomato. This is all so good. Like, I cannot wait to dig into this.
I'm gonna try one of these Pişi Pişi donuts.
I'm assuming the singular name is Pişi.
I don't know. They're freshly made. They're still warm. They seem a little bit greasy, but really, really pillowy. And I have this thing of honey and claro cream, I guess. That's so good. This basically tastes like I don't know, like fried dough balls you get in like Greece, for example. This is just so yummy, and this honey is delicious, the cream is delicious. I wish there was a little bit more cream.
I'm gonna try one of these little mini pancakes. What should I dip it in? I'll try this. I don't know if this is sweet or savory though, so I guess we'll find out.
I think it all goes together regardless.
Oh yeah, strawberry jam. Oh, that is so sweet. Perfect combination. I don't even know how we're gonna finish all this, but I think that we'll probably eat most of these dips, this cheese, these eggs, but maybe leave some of the fruit and vegetables.
Another thing I love doing is just mixing everything together in one bite. Cheese, 3 different spreads. That's where it's at.
Orange peel and donut?
It's so orangey. Tastes like Christmas.
Spinach goslam, spicy pepper.
The tahini dips are so good. I think they're also one of my favorite ones. So yummy. This was so delicious, we're so full. I have no idea how we're gonna eat later, but it was 465 Turkish lira per person, which is around $13 US, which is not that bad, but it used to be a lot cheaper.
I think it was about half the price back in the day when we were living here.
Yeah, like 5 years ago, but prices have gone up by a lot, and by the time this video comes out, it's probably gonna be even more expensive, but we do recommend this restaurant. It was so good, probably the best Turkish breakfast we ever had, and the staff super nice as well. So definitely come here, have some Turkish kahvaltı.
We are now at Taksim Square, which is one of the main squares here in Istanbul, and also one of the more touristy spots to come. It's pretty much near all of the main shopping streets, and there's a lot of good walking streets around here. There's the Taksim Mosque, Taksim Monument, and lots of restaurants, cafes, pretty much everything you could possibly need. There's a lot of tourists all over the place as well as locals, so yeah, there's a lot to do here. So if you are in Istanbul, you definitely need to come here and visit it.
There are also quite a lot of food stands here. Some people, they roast chestnuts, and then there's those like bagel simit things. Yeah, just other little stands, which is really cool because we love street food. And then there's all the kebabs over there as well, because there's a whole wall of kebab shops that sell kebabs. I think back in the days, they cost $1 or €1. I think now it's also a lot more expensive. At the kebab shops, they also sell something called the wet burger, which is literally what it sounds like. It's a wet burger. It's kind of like in this, thing that steams it.
It's sitting in a glass case and it steams it, and it is literally wet. We had one before, and it is definitely not our cup of tea. If I was gonna go for a late night snack, it would definitely be a kebab of some sort.
If you want to try it out, I guess you can just like drop your burger in some hot water and see what it tastes like.
Pretty much the same.
We made it to an old neighborhood. I think it's called Cihangir. We absolutely love this neighborhood, and I think we're gonna see if we can get some Turkish coffee and maybe some sweets.
We now came to a bakery for some fresh Turkish desserts, also some coffee and chai. Admittedly, we actually got free coffee at the last place. The teenage waiter gave me some for free. And so this is my second cup, but I cannot say no to Turkish coffee. It is honestly some of my favorite coffee in the world. So strong. I got a tiny bit of sugar in this. Let's try it. That is incredible. That's even better than the last one. If you don't know Turkish coffee, it is super strong. It is very finely ground, and actually all the coffee grinds are sitting at the bottom of this glass. So you basically have a shot of coffee followed by a thick layer of sludge at the bottom. And I've heard that they can actually tell your fortune reading the coffee grounds in the bottom. Pretty interesting. But this is delicious.
I I got some Turkish tea, which is also delicious. Especially because it's getting a little bit chilly in November. This is really nice. And we actually came to this place called Cihangir Simit Ferry. I'm sure I said that wrong, but they actually have simit in the name, which is those bagels that I talked about earlier that they sell at the side of the street. And here they have really fresh ones. They have this oven in there where they make all the baked goods, and here they actually fill them with cheese, like a little bagel simit pizza.
It actually has a bottom, like a pizza for real.
Yeah. There's so much cheese. And the cheese is so good. Definitely the best simit I've ever had, because when you get it at the side of the road, sometimes they're a little bit stale because they've been sitting there forever. I think they're sometimes a little bit harder. This one is so soft, so sesame-y. This is delicious. This is so good.
Not only have we not had one of these this fresh before, we certainly have not had it in Turkish pizza form. This is so weird. It almost looks like the simit bagel part is like separate from the other part. Like they're like cooked together but not attached. Very interesting, but it looks amazing. Oh my God. This is absolutely amazing. Definitely have never had something like this in Turkey before. I don't know if this is common, if this is just a thing that they do. If you are Turkish, let us know in the comments. Have you had this before? Because this is an amazing invention. I absolutely love this.
The other thing why we came here for is the sweets. We got 2 pieces of baklava and 3 cookies that the person who worked here recommended. One is like this crescent moon that is apparently walnut flavored. Then we have an apple cookie. And this one, he said, is special flavor tahini. That sounds really interesting. I don't know what to start with.
I don't know that I've ever had a tahini cookie before, but we love tahini, so.
I'm gonna have some baklava first, because I love baklava. And I think this one is just a normal pistachio type. So gooey. There's even big chunks of pistachio in there. This is divine. This is so yummy, but it's so rich. I don't know if we can finish this, but
I think we can.
It's so good.
For those of you who don't know what baklava is, it is an extremely popular dessert pretty much everywhere in the Middle East, Greece, and obviously in Turkey where it is from. It is these thin layers of phyllo pastry, and usually there's nuts inside, often pistachio, or in this case walnut, and it is soaked in syrup or honey. It is very, very sweet, as Anya mentioned, so you don't want to eat a lot of these, but it is perfect with bitter Turkish coffee. So let's have a bite.
It's oozing.
So sweet.
It's all in your beard.
It just dripped on my pants too. Sip of coffee. This is literally a match made in heaven. It's so good.
I'm gonna try this special taste tahini thing. It's so powdery. That's delicious though. It does taste like tahini a little bit. Let me try the apple. I think there might also be nuts in this. I'm not sure.
Yeah, also got
It tastes like apple pie, like Christmas. It tastes like real like baked apples. Yum. So good.
Now let's try this crescent moon. This is similar to the tahini one. A bit dry and crumbly. All of these desserts are really good, but if I had to choose just one, I would definitely go with one of the baklavas because those are amazing, but they're all delicious.
So we're just gonna sit here and enjoy and finish up our sweets and tea and coffee. I just really love this area because there's all these like bars and bakeries and cafes and people are just enjoying themselves. Really love it.
One of our absolute favorite things about Istanbul is the fact that there are cats literally everywhere. I think there's estimated to be somewhere between 125 and 750,000 stray cats living in the city, which is absolutely insane, which is also sad, but at the same time, it is one of the joys of Istanbul. There are street cats everywhere and they are so lovely because they're so used to people. People feed them and you can find shelters for them all over the city. And right now we're headed to our old neighborhood and we're going to try to find some of our old favorite street cats. So let's see if they're still there after all this time.
There was one and we called her Marble, and if we could have, we would have adopted her.
She was so sweet.
We hope she's still there, but maybe we don't hope that she's still there. Hopefully maybe she was adopted. Let's see.
can't believe we're saying this, but I think we've actually found marble. And if it's not marble, it is absolutely her daughter because she had this exact same pattern.
And there was multiple cats that looked like this, so I assume they're all related. And Marble even looked pregnant at the time. She has like the same personality.
Yeah, she has the same personality. She even massages the ground, just like Marble always used to do. Is it you?
We called her Marble because of her pattern, and she's kind of like a marble cake.
I can't believe it. Like, if this is not Marble, it is definitely her daughter.
Or her niece, or somebody from the Marble family.
I love her.
Look, she's massaging. She used to come into our house and lay outside of our door on our doormat and wait for us.
In the apartment building, she somehow would always get in. I guess like people would just accidentally let her in from outside. She used to come in and wait outside on our doormat, and it was the sweetest thing ever. And we used to pat her and give her treats, and she used to massage the floor and sit on her lap. Just like this.
Like this? If you're not Marble, then you're Marble 2.0. I think they know we have treats somehow. Oh my God. It's gonna break out a fight. Oh my God, there's more. Now we're gonna go on the ferry and go to Asia.
Go. We are now here in Kadıköy, which is on the Asian side of Istanbul. If you did not know, Istanbul is actually located both in Europe and in Asia, so pretty cool.
Welcome to Asia. And it was super easy to take the ferry. I think it was 50 Turkish lira, and we just had to scan our bank cards, so that was very convenient. Basically, you get a ride along the water almost for free instead of like booking a tour for 30 bucks or something like that. So we got this beautiful view, and now we're here in Kadıköy, which is one of our favorite areas. So let's explore. And here in Kadıköy, there's a bunch of walking streets with cafes and kind of like market stalls and shops and everything. And it's super cool. It's this really, really nice area. I think it's called Moda, but yeah, we love it here. We actually wanted to stay here, but it was too expensive. We couldn't get an affordable hotel here, so maybe next time.
We came to our first food stop here in Kadıköy, and we went to a place called Halil Lahmacun. And as the name suggests, we are trying lahmacun, which is basically this flatbread. They put minced meat on it. Usually it's beef or lamb. It's also covered in a bunch of different spices like paprika or chili flakes, and it has like onion in it, garlic, and a bunch of other things. And you usually top it with parsley and lemon. So this looks really good. We got it completely flat and then rolled it up ourselves. Sometimes they just hand it to you like this. It smells so good. Nice and fresh. We saw them making it in shop. Let's try this. Crunchy. At first, all I got was bread, and then I went a little bit further, and that is absolutely delicious. The parsley gives it like a nice freshness, and then you have that hit of citrus from the lemon. You've got a little bit of a meaty taste. This is just really good. It's a simple snack, very light, but super tasty.
That is so good. Where I'm from in Berlin, you can get these too. We call them Turkish pizza there, but they're nowhere near this good. Like, you can taste the meat so much in this. It's like so fresh, and with the lemon and parsley, it's just so yummy. And this restaurant actually only makes two different things. Only pide, lahmacun, and then they have a dessert and ayran. If somebody only does like one or two things, they usually do it really, really well. And this tastes like it was done really, really well. So the other thing, as I mentioned, that they make is pide. This looks a lot different than any pide I've seen. It's basically way thinner, Yeah, it's almost like, I think it's the same bread, the same dough they use for the lahmacun, just in a different shape. And there's cheese on there and also some green stuff. It also smells like lemon. Should I just bite from the side?
I think you should rip it.
Rip it?
All right. Middle's gonna be the best part.
I think you can also like fold it and eat it like this.
Like a New York slice.
It's not like mozzarella cheese or anything. It's more like a feta, like a little bit tart type of cheese. It's really yummy. And I don't know what kind of herbs they use, but yeah, this is delicious.
Hearing about the economy before we came here, we were definitely worried that we were not going to be able to find anything that was actually affordable to eat. But there are still places, depending on where you go, that are relatively affordable. For example, our Turkish breakfast was $13 a person, which not too bad for the amount of food you get. And $3, not bad. I think you could probably get this for like 50 cents to $1 a couple years ago, but it is what it is. It feels softer than the other one. It's got a nice chew. It has that tart white cheese, like you said. I think maybe the herbs are also parsley, and maybe they hit this with a little bit of the lemon as well. I think between the two, I still like the lahmacun better because it does have meat on it, but both really good.
I like this better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we got both. We are now at a place called Draft Gastropub for some beers. Now, believe it or not, you can actually still get cheap beers here in Istanbul. It is currently happy hour here. I think it goes between 12 and 6, and it is less than $3 for a half liter of Efes Turkish beer, so pretty good. And we just love this area in general. It feels very alternative. Some parts of it even remind us of Berlin, and we just love it. There's graffiti everywhere, there's cool shops, cool bars. I feel like if we moved to Istanbul, I would love to stay here.
This is such a good deal because even at grocery stores, beers a lot of the time cost like $2. So this is barely much more for sitting in a bar. And yeah, I just love this area as well. I really like how the sidewalks are actually walkable here because I think a lot of places in Istanbul aren't really that pedestrian friendly because of the bad sidewalks and there's so many stairs and everything here. You can just walk around and enjoy yourself. So if you're anything like us and you're coming to Istanbul on a vacation even, make sure to pick a good area. And this one and Cihangir, they both feel a bit alternative and that's why we love it. Yeah. I really like Kadıköy. We also decided to get the national drink of Turkey, which is raki. And the way they drink it here is a little bit different, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do this correctly. So I guess I'll put some ice. And then you get water with it, and you mix it. And it should turn white, because it's called lion's milk. So then it's going to look milky. Let's see. It's like a wizard's potion. How much should I put?
Look at it, milky. It almost looks like fluorescent.
And it smells like ouzo. It smells like licorice. Do you reckon this is enough?
Yeah. It was a big shot.
I like the taste. It's really sweet. It doesn't taste super strong, but I think it is like, what, 30% or something like that, right? Yeah, this is really good. I don't like licorice though, but this is good.
Licorice is also not one of my favorite flavors, but I do think that I'm kind of getting more accustomed to it. So we have had it in a lot of different places in the world, so cheers. It's honestly not that bad. I never thought I would say that I like licorice of any sort. You do taste the anise, but it is sweet as well, so not bad. Of course, you cannot come to Turkey without having some sort of doner kebab. And we went to a place called Doner 1971. And apparently this place has only been open for 45 days, but it's a continuation of a place that existed for years somewhere in the Grand Bazaar. So we're very excited to try this. Of course, I don't think I need to tell anybody what a doner is, but if you don't know, it is a spit of meat which turns around, and it's usually beef or lamb. In this case, it is lamb, and you can get it in all sorts of varieties. There is Iskandar kebab, there is obviously doner kebab like this. You can get it on a plate, durum in a wrap, any sort of way. But we got it in this nice pillowy bread. Now, what's interesting about this compared to Germany is that there's no sauce on this. It's just dry with the lamb meat, some fresh herbs and lettuce, and some tomato as well. So this is gonna be delicious. Just even walking by this place, you can smell that amazing meat. Very, very lammy. So let's just shut up and try this. Wow, that is surprisingly flavorful. Like, there's no sauce on this thing, but it is packed with flavor. So savory, it is very lamby, so I wouldn't get this unless you like lamb. But Ani and I, we love lamb, so this is so good. And surprisingly, it does not need sauce. Of course, a little garlic sauce would be amazing as well, but straight up like this, so good, man.
That is so lamby, it's so delicious. The bread is so fresh, such good bread. The meat is delicious. Like, you could even tell when you saw the bit that the meat would be so good, and it looked a lot better than the ones at Taksim Square. And usually, especially if you eat in, I think you get an ayran with it, which is like the salty yogurt drink. And then you definitely don't need a sauce because your drink's kind of the sauce, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, this barely needs a sauce, like, because the meat's so juicy and you have the tomato and the bread is so fluffy and fresh. Like, I'm from Berlin, so Berlin kebabs are like the ultimate for me. But this is probably one of the best kebabs I've had in Turkey. I'm surprised we found this place since it's only opened 45 days ago or something like that, because this is really good. This is probably like a new hidden gem in Kadıköy. Should come here. We got some dessert, and this place where we got it from is called Ali Usta, I think, or Meşhur Dondurmacı Ali Usta, I'm not sure. Obviously, when you come to Turkey, you see all these people at the side of the street giving you Turkish ice cream and like playing tricks on you and stuff like that. We're too cool for that. So we went to a really awesome ice cream shop that we went to 4 or 5 years ago. We got pistachio and walnut. This is definitely a lot different than normal ice cream or like Italian gelato. It's like very stringy. That's some good pistachio. I think it's a lot lighter than Italian gelato, which I like because we're really full. My choice was the walnut, and I chose correctly.
The difference between Turkish ice cream and other ice cream is the ingredients. It's actually made with goat's milk typically. It's made with sugar, of course, but it also has salep in it, which is a bulb of an orchid that they grind up. There's also a drink called salep, and also it has mastic in it, which I guess is the resin from maybe some sort of tree. And I think those ingredients are what give it this stringy pull of a texture. It's very unique, and it's delicious. It also prevents it from melting as much as normal ice cream, but this is still melting.
It's not even warm.
I know. It's basically December and we're here eating ice cream, but it doesn't matter. Oh, that's so good.
We're now at the water in Kadıköy, and it's beautiful. Unfortunately, it's already dark because obviously we're almost here in winter. So it got dark pretty early, but it's wonderful. And there's all these cats around us. Oh, right here.
Yeah, we came here years ago. We got a couple beers, sat here, and we were surrounded by cats last time too. But now it's even worse because we have a bag of treats and they can smell it. They know.
I think a lot of people come here to drink. I don't think it's actually legal in Istanbul, but at least back then we were told that they don't really care if you do it here. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, I really love this area because I feel like on the other side of the city, it's not that easy to access the water and just like sit and enjoy. I feel like a lot of the beach or waterfront is like boarded off, but here it's beautiful. Do you love it too? Yeah? I think it's a yes. It's massaging me. Why are the cats so nice here?
I love them all.
They're so nice.
We both have a friend. She's just trying to butter me up to get more treats. She knows the treats are in my lap.
It's funny because last time when we came here, all the cats would sit on our lap too. I feel like that's just what they do here because people sit at the waterfront and then the cats come and sit on their lap. So if you love cats and you come to Istanbul, come to this waterfront in Kadıköy.
I love them. Of course, if you come to Turkey, you have to have some Turkish Delight. So we got ourselves a box. Honestly, when you go to these shops, they always try to hustle you and make you buy as much as you possibly can. So Anya instead went, this is how much money I have. Give us that much. And so this is 100 Turkish lira worth of Turkish Delight. We got a bunch of different flavors, including pistachio, rose, which I think is one of the most traditional, strawberry, and coconut, and a bunch of other kinds. So I'm gonna try the strawberry. Super sticky, super chewy, a little bit sweet. They also have kind of like rolled versions that are almost more like nougaty and sticky. And I think those are the versions that we like the best, but those ones are even more expensive because they're super dense and heavy.
I'm gonna try the pistachio one. And by the way, if you hear the Christmas music behind us, very sorry, there's a Santa Claus dancing and he won't stop.
Over and over again.
Over and over. But I'm pretty sure this is my favorite, so I'm excited. So good. I always thought I didn't really like Turkish Delight. The rose flavor is not my favorite, but the pistachio ones with like nuts inside, they're just amazing. Let me try strawberry. This actually does taste like strawberry. I've never had one like this before. They always want to give you like so much. They want to give you a kilo.
Because I feel like it's a thing you share with your family and friends, but
we don't have any. So we're gonna eat that alone. This is the end of our video. We're now gonna get on the ferry and go back to the European side, where we had an awesome time in Istanbul. Obviously, we only scratched the surface. And also when it comes to the food, there's so many more delicious things you can eat here, like manti, Iskender kebab, other kebabs, kanufe, I think it's called. Like so many things, but it just means we have to come back again in the future.
Yes, Istanbul is easily one of our favorite cities in the world, so we will definitely be back someday. But that is it for this video, so if you did like it, please give it a like, write us a comment, and by far the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. But that is it for this one. See you all in the next one.
Bye!